Good morning, everyone. Thanks for clicking on my video. This is Rachel, and yes, the police are protecting and serving the hell out of African Americans. There was yet another shooting. This is what I woke up to this morning. A man by Philandro Castile. He was shot yesterday by a police officer down in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And this young man was pulled over for a busted tail light, and he lost his life. The details are that the police officer instructed Mr. Castile to, provide his ID. Mr. Castile advised him that he had a, concealed carry permit and that he did have a weapon with him. When he went to comply with the officer's instructions, the officer shot Mr. Castile 4 times, and Mr. Castile ended up dying. Now, when Mr. Castile was shot, in the car there was his girlfriend and in the back seat a 4-year-old child. This officer opened fire on this car knowing that there was a child, a 4-year-old child, sitting in the back of the car. No regard, a bullet could have ricocheted and shot not only the girlfriend who was sitting in the front seat, but also that child that was sitting in the back seat. This is to show you what they think of Black lives. Now, the girlfriend took out her phone and she started filming the aftermath of her boyfriend being shot. What we see is Mr. Castile there moaning, and his t-shirt slowly being soaked in blood as his life starts to leave his body. The girlfriend looks over and she says, "Oh my God, don't tell me that he's dead." That police officer is standing there yelling and screaming, saying, "I told him not to go for it. I told him not to go for it." Yet you just asked him to take out his ID, and that's what he was trying to do. This is what we deal with every day in America as Black people. We've been telling everyone of the injustices that are lobbied against us, but they didn't believe us. They say that we're pulling a race card, we're exaggerating experiences, but this is what it is. The only difference now is that we have cameras to film everything that's going on. Every day there's a Black man somewhere that is going through something similar to this. And we know this. We see it every day as Black people. But now the world is seeing it. Now yesterday, all throughout my video, I kept saying, nothing's going to change. And you know what? Nothing is ever going to change. So what I say to Black people is, this is it. This is where we are. This is how it's always going to be. This is America's history. We know this. We just have to get used to the fact that they're going to mow us down, one by one. And then they will pull up your criminal record if you have one and parade it all across the media and make it seem like you are the worst individual in the world. Face the fact. No need to be scared. Your turn is coming. It's just a matter of time. If we look at what's going on television, that's what I get from it. On this cop's Facebook page, he's on there with a gun, and there's a Trump, "Let's take back our country" little banner or something like that. It's sad when the cops who are hired to protect and serve the community are one of the biggest, killers of people within that community. And then they want to talk about black on black crime. They always throw that out there. Well, what about the black on black crime? And I say to that, what about the white on white crime? What about that? What about these white boys who are going out here with semi-automatic weapons and who are killing dozens and dozens of innocent people in movie theaters, schools, colleges, just out because they had a bad day or they feel, upset and they want to get back at people and they go out and kill up people and, kill themselves or are taken away peacefully by the police, how they can, miraculously disarm them. But with us, it's swift justice. Swift justice. Swift justice. You're going to get that black man and you're going to take that gun and you're going to take the law into your own hands because you are a police officer that has been told that the law is on your side. So you become judge and jury right out there on the street. It's in your hands. And then you'll just say that you felt threatened, like they always do. Like I said yesterday, it's becoming a script. Basically, these officers are just acting it out daily. It's a script. We know how this is going to end. The Alton Sterling, that police officer will get off, and Mr. Castile's police officer will get off. They're just going to say they felt threatened. They're both now on paid administrative leave, and I'm pretty sure the police union is working their defense and how they're going to just, get these officers off. Both of these families will live with the pain that their loved one was killed by a police officer. They better get over it. They better not complain too loudly because America doesn't want to hear that. In their eyes, these are just two black men who were criminals and, they deserve to die. That, that's what it is. That's what it will always be. We know that. We know it. This is what happens every day. White people sit and watch television and they get this perception of us that we're all just terrible. We're all criminals. We're all up to no good. They don't have anything to contrast it. They control the media, so they put out what they want to put out about us. It is what it is. I am at the point where I just say, you know what? I live in a country that doesn't like the color of my skin. I'll just continue to pray for my loved ones that it doesn't, touch one of us. But I also pray for the other families out there, that it's not touching them, though we know that it's going to get one of us eventually. I just hope it's not my family. I just continue to pray for other black families out there because it is what it is. Don't you see it? I mean, we hope and pray that things are going to get better, but they never do. We sat last week and watched this just unbelievably powerful speech that Jesse Williams gave. And you know what the aftermath of that was? Fire his ass. Take him off Grey's Anatomy. He said something racist. I went back and I listened to the speech again and again and again, and I heard nothing that told black people to mobilize and go out there and start hunting white people. He never said anything like that. The speech was directed at us. It was telling us to just keep fighting, keep trying to make things better. Keep your eyes open and seeing what is going on in America. And just a week later, just like he said, they can disarm a white guy peacefully, but they will shoot a black man out in the street, and 1 week later, they got two of us. So I laugh at the white people that signed that petition. I laugh at them. How do you explain what happened just a week later? His words were quite prophetic, weren't they? And then this petition. Do they not know that the creator of Grey's Anatomy is a black woman? A proud black woman? Jessie wasn't going nowhere. And she said that. She agreed with what he said because she has sons, brothers, or not sons, but brothers, uncles, cousins, father, who have probably, endured things at the hands of the police, like we all have. I told you yesterday of some incidences that I saw, and of one incident in particular that happened to me, and I could sit here for the next couple of hours. I've lived 51 years and tell you of things that I've seen, that police have done, that are just unbelievable in my lifetime. But the difference is, when I was a young person, they didn't have cell phones that we could video things and catch these police officers in the act. This is the world that we live in, people. This is the America that says that, all men are created equal. Equal justice for all, except the black man. You better not yell too loudly that you've been discriminated against, or talk about the injustices that you've endured. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They don't even believe you. You were out doing something. You were committing a crime. You terrible thug criminal. You don't deserve justice. You're not human. This is what they say to us every time they take a gun and shoot one of ours, wrap their hands around our throats and, strangle the life out of us, do a drive-by on a 12-year-old, or mysteriously make a grown woman die in a jail cell. She hung herself. Little teenage girls dying in jail cells. Or a little black girl get arrested for a traffic stop and just disappear from the jail, although they said that they released her. They don't know what happened to her. She's gone, never to be found. These are the things that happen to us. It is what it is. As I stated yesterday, this is what it's going to be like. It'll never, ever change. Black people, do you hear me? It is never going to change. We've endured this for 300 years now, over 300 years. What do you think is going to change? They don't like us. They hate us. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to look to a brighter day, a brighter future. But as a black person, it gets kind of hard on these days like this. It's kind of hard. I wasn't even surprised this morning when I woke up and I saw that there was yet another one. It's getting to the point where I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it. My only prayer is that it doesn't happen to mine. That's the only thing I have left. The only thing that I have left. So with that, I am going to get out of here. And I just say to any black person that is listening to my voice, protect yours. Talk to yours. Pray for yours. That this thing that we call the police, this thing that we call hatred against us, doesn't touch your family, because that's all that we can do. It will never change. We need to face that now. It's never going to change. No amount of protesting, no amount of demonstrating, no amount of laws. This is never going to change. Never. We hoped that it would. We dreamed that it would. But it's not. It is what it is. And I hate to be so, negative, but I've lived 51 years and I don't see any change. I actually see that in the last few years it's getting worse. So with that, I am going to get out of here, and you guys stay safe. And I'm not going to say today have a good day. I just say stay safe. Thank you for listening to my video, and I will see you in the next one.